Force is strong with this one, like really strong. The ninth installment in the Juggernaut space opera fantasy action franchise was released worldwide on December 15, 2017. If word of mouth and historical trends are any indication, it should break the 2 billion mark in ticket sales, becoming only the 4th movie in history to do so. The second entry in Disney's updated sequel trilogy, and the 8th episode in the main franchise, writer and director Rian Johnson may just have crafted the best one yet. At 2 hours and 32 minutes, The Last Jedi is the longest film in the franchise to date, but it doesn't feel like it. The tension and stakes have never been higher, as the vaulted resistance is whittled down to only a handful of ships. With the dreaded First Order hot on their trail, their last-ditch survival depends on increasingly bleak odds, but if there's a thematic message to this film, it's finding hope from hopelessness. Elsewhere, Force-sensitive scavenger Rey trains to become a Jedi, while evil forces attempt to draw her in. All 4 of the breakout stars from The Force Awakens return: Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac. Each handle their increased responsibilities with impressive performances. Ridley is especially adept at balancing her emotional and physically challenging role like a veteran, sparring off against returning original trilogy star Mark Hamill with surprising ease. He plays the downtrodden and isolated Jedi legend with more bitterness than we've seen before, but it fits into Johnson's singular vision remarkably well. The scenes between them are the real heart of this story, with Skywalker warning his new apprentice, "This is not going to go the way you think." And even though the impatient student receiving Jedi training from a grumpy mentor in a remote setting exhibits obvious shades of The Empire Strikes Back, it does result in some of the film's most effective emotional moments. Thankfully though, besides that, The Last Jedi borrows far less from its predecessors than The Force Awakens did. Indeed, instead of leveraging fan service, this film succeeds because of the strength of its core characters. They're supported by equally interesting turns from Carrie Fisher, Andy Serkis, Domhnall Gleeson, Anthony Daniels, Kelly Marie Tran, Laura Dern, and Benicio del Toro. Thanks to bold choices in the PG-13 rated script, our heroes no longer feel safe. When someone's fate teeters on the brink of death, a last-minute rescue isn't always guaranteed. The opening space battle, a bombing run against a Dreadnought-class starship, is particularly awesome. It might just be my favorite action sequence of the entire franchise. When Isaac jams on the air brakes of his X-Wing to form a slick J-turn to swoop behind a couple of TIE fighters, my theater went nuts. Oftentimes, these galactic dogfights are a mess of cockpit cutaways and exploding ships. Not here. Johnson's deft direction clearly lays out the stakes and consequences, illustrates the action and players with concise geography, and boils down all the dramatic tension to a single character's determined sacrifice. The result is flawless storytelling and raucous entertainment. Meanwhile, Boyega is teamed up with newcomer Tran in a somewhat uninteresting side quest. This sequence, which explores a vibrant new casino-themed planet, think Monaco but with horse-sized goats, lets the slack out of the extremely taut pacing and simply isn't as engaging as the rest of the movie. Although critical to the story, it felt like an unnecessary detour, and the lone blemish on an otherwise excellent script. Well, except for a couple of weird character decisions, like deliberately withholding information from an ally. But we are talking about a $200 million space western with magic samurai wizards, not Shakespeare, so. While C-3PO and R2-D2 make their requisite appearances, it's the spunky little BB-8 ball droid who once again delivers a great deal of this picture's more lighter moments. Whether he's clumsily rolling into walls because of a boxy disguise or saving our heroes with a unique solution, he's a clear audience favorite. The Last Jedi is also packed with loads of other inventive new creatures, from cute little porgs to somewhat gross sea cows. Last, but certainly not least, is Fisher in her final film role. Before her tragic and untimely death in 2016, she thankfully completed all of her filming for this movie, lighting up the screen with poise, beauty, and hope. The emotionally turbulent picture is dedicated to her honor, with a simple but remarkably poignant message in loving memory of our princess. If you go into this film with theories or predictions, prepare to be surprised, because The Last Jedi is wonderful at subverting expectations. Some of the character decisions, jokes, or reveals will be divisive, but I for one love the risks this picture took. It's a brave new direction for Star Wars, and it pays off in a big way. Visually speaking, Episode 8 is gorgeous, a cinematic painting in every frame, from the harsh landscapes of Luke's isolated solitude to the red salt plains of Crate. The lightsaber fights have never looked better, shot from static wide shots which allow the sword-swinging action to figuratively and literally shine. After 9 movies, it almost goes without saying, but the effects work from Industrial Light and Magic is predictably impeccable. Computer elements are seamlessly blended with the practical, while animated characters go face-to-face with their human counterparts. 50-time Academy Award nominee John Williams once again delivers a beautiful and powerful score. The 85-year-old borrows plenty of leitmotifs from his earlier work. Rey's theme and the Force are recycled quite often, but it's harsher and intense string-led concertos that make up the bulk of the new material. With time, I'm sure it'll be revered as some of his best work since Harry Potter. Speaking of time, it's the only thing preventing me from giving this a more comparative review. Without any additional viewings, it's hard for me to assess where The Last Jedi ranks among its extraordinary predecessors. After a lone opening night viewing with all the hype and adrenaline therein, my jubilation may fade, but I dare say this is the best Star Wars movie yet. And as a lifelong fan of the series, I realize that might sound like a blasphemous thing to say, but this really is a thrilling, complex, and incredibly satisfying adventure all fans will adore. I can't recommend it enough. Nitpicks aside, Star Wars The Last Jedi is definitely an amazing film, and one I can't wait to rewatch again and again. That does it for this movie night excerpt, but if you'd like to watch more reviews, click or tap the thumbnails on the left. And don't forget to visit the Jogwheel YouTube channel to see full episodes of the show, in addition to the other content I produce. My name is Jonathan Paula, thanks for watching, and have a good movie night.